Welcome to the Six Again podcast, your new destination for all things NRL. Here to bring you everything from team news to best bets are your hosts Adam Hoy and Jared Newton. Let's kick off.
Alrighty, welcome to round 10. You're in the Six Again podcast. I'm Adam.
I'm yawning. Hey, I'm Jared.
Oh, see, this week Jared's the one who's tired.
I don't know why.
No. I did the smart thing. I was wrecked yesterday, so I went to bed at 7:30. I can't even remember the last time I've been in bed that early, and it was fantastic. I woke up at 10:30 and Maddie was on her phone. I was like, "Put it away. It's early in the morning." She went, "It's 10:30, bub." Oh shit! I usually go to bed now. Okay, everything's back to normal. It's all good. But I'm feeling good today. Ready to go. Considering Manly's been playing like crap, but let's not talk about them. Biggest news, I guess, has been with regards to the Warriors, wouldn't you say, Jared?
Yeah, so the Warriors looks like they're cleaning house completely. The CEO must think there's a shit culture there because he's got rid of the coach. He's got rid of the coach and probably two of his most senior players. So it looks like...
Who are the two senior players?
Well, it looks like they have told Blake Green that if any clubs was garnering interest right now, he could sign with them, they will release him. And as far as Adam Blair goes, they are practically telling him that he's got a player option next year. Can you please retire or not take it up?
Oh.
So
I think the Blake Green one's separate though. Like they would say they're reluctant to let him go.
Look, they're not pushing to sign him.
No, because he's still signed through to the end of next year, though, right?
Something like that. But look, it looks like outside looking in, they got rid of that coach. They got rid of probably the most experienced two players in the team.
Not to next year, though.
Well, but okay, so they haven't got rid of them, but it looks like they're pushing them out a door. So when you get rid of three, probably highly influential people around the club, as far as those three would be,
yeah,
because they're both all three. Green and Blair were marquee signings when they got them over, and now they're essentially not even going to fight to keep them.
No, I think so. I still think the Green thing's different. Because they've said they'd be hesitant to let him go, but I know the club has told him if he wants to get a longer deal than his current deal, on the proviso that he has to go now. With the services given his club, it'd be very hard to stand in his way. So it's not like he's not going to sign a deal for 3 years elsewhere and still play out this year with the Warriors. That's not what they're saying. They're saying if the other club says, all right, you sign at the Warriors till the end of 2021, we'll give you a deal to sign you through to 2023, but you have to come now.
Come to Newcastle. Right now. Send the Blake Green to Newcastle. Just rock up. You can wear the red and blue next week. Get rid of that
guy's
number 6
points. I know. It'd be horrible.
Yeah. So if you actually watch their game, you would know that he is stifling Ponga. And it's shit.
I was going to say, put Blake Green at fullback. He'd do way more.
Yeah. If we had a proper 5'8", Ponga would be leading Dally M's right now. Let's put it that way.
He would not. Who's leading at the moment?
Right now, I think
it'd be Tedesco, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Tedesco or something like that. But either way, come play 6 for Newcastle.
But when I mentioned Warriors at the start, I meant more the 4 players that their CEO has confirmed will return home on 27th of July. So that will be after the game against the Roosters. So that'll be next week. So that is David Fusatua, Ken Mamalo, Ignatius Parsi, and King Vuni Yayawa will all be returning home. And with COVID increasing again in Australia, they won't be back this season, you would assume, considering they'll be spending a 2-week quarantine back in New Zealand. That puts the Warriors down to 21 players that are left in Australia. That's not much. Like, literally,
No.
teams name 23 players as their squad each week before they cut them down to 17. So
I think it's going to be interesting because a lot of players were really okay with. A lot of teams were really okay with loaning players out in the last. Look at the Roosters bloke; he had to get called back.
Yeah.
They got Jack Haverington now from Penrith.
The downside is, though, the further we get in the season, the more chance of injuries.
That's right. So
other teams.
So I'm pretty sure the Roosters bloke, he was there for 2 months and he got called back after like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Not specifically that, but yeah. And look, if Penrith get a few injuries, he'll be calling him back. I actually, I don't know if you remember this. I actually came up with a team.
Yeah, last week.
For players they could sign that aren't getting to run in other teams.
Yeah.
So a few of them are out now because of injuries last week. So I had Tristan Saylor at fullback. He's not getting to run at Dragons. I did have Matt Ikuvalu in the wings, but 4 injuries later and then 5 tries later, he got put in the team this weekend. But he was at one point, I think, the 3rd or 4th string winger for Roosters, and they got about 5. Then I got Jamin Salmon in the centres.
Yeah, he could. He's not doing anything.
Yeah, Jeremy Hawkins. I don't know if you remember him. He's been around for a while. He's a pretty handy player as well. And then you got Sandor Earl. He seems to be about 3rd or 4th string at Melbourne. In the halves, I got Mason Lino from Newcastle. Yep. So right now, I think Crossland and Connor Watson, now he's back, would be ahead of him.
So we're saying there's still a fair few players who they could line up if required.
So and then you got Matt Foley from Canberra. So and then you got JJ Collins from.
I don't see Canberra letting anyone go.
But this is just a team right now. So you got JJ Collins, and then you got Zach Wolford from Newcastle, 3rd string hooker. Then you got Josh King from Newcastle. He's barely in the 18. Then you got Chris McQueen from Tigers.
He's been named. Oh no, it was Lawrence named this week. That's right.
Yeah, Jack Johns from South Sydney. He got named 18th man. But look, and then the best player there is, Adam's mate, Tony Williams. So that's not a team that's going to win you a premiership, but it's a lot of players that. Yeah, there's a lot of players that are, some of them got NRL experience, some of them are up and coming. But look, Warriors couldn't do worse by picking some of them up.
Yeah, and I'd say we wouldn't be surprised if there'd be some movement on that this week. Something to keep an eye out for. So, if you're a Warriors fan and you can get to any of the games this week or next before at least 4 of them depart, I'm sure they definitely appreciate it. So pretty much without anything else really going on with regards to news, it kind of brings us to signings because there's been a little bit of movement, more talk than anything really. Nothing like the 3 biggest ones, I guess, haven't actually been signed off on, but it looks more and more as though they will.
I think the biggest one, there's 2 really big ones. One's already signed off though. So Reed Marnie re-signs till 2022.
Mm-hmm.
At Para, that's looks like a potential future Queensland hooker. Royce Hunt and Saya Sifa Talakai from Cronulla have re-signed. So Royce Hunt signed to 22, Talakai signed to the end of 21. Royce Hunt is an absolute monster if you actually see him. He's bigger than Fafita. Manly got in this. Seagulls signed Morgan Harper from the Bulldogs until 22.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do a bit of a deep dive on him because, what's he, a junior Kiwi or something?
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
And then the Rabbits signed Jed Cartwright until 2022. He was one of the boys I thought might crack into the Penrith team. If anything, he's a big, rangy guy. If anything, he's got the family pedigree. And then on the same note as Morgan Harper, Seagulls have released Sam Smith He was in their top 30 this year. Looks like he wasn't going to get a run, and they just swapped him out for Hart.
Oh.
And it looks like the Morris brothers have indicated they are wanting to go again next year.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's in the thing if Roosters want them, but I doubt they're going to say no currently.
They're not going to be on huge.
No, but Roosters aren't going to go, oh, no, you're too old. There's no way in hell.
Yeah.
So I reckon out of all that, that's probably hasn't been confirmed yet, but it's one of the biggest locks there is as far as the NRL going right now. There's no way that if the Morris brothers want to play next year, they'll either be playing at Roosters or somewhere else.
They'll be playing at Roosters, I would say.
Yeah.
If they're going to keep playing, they'll play at Roosters. Here we go. One day ago. Let's bring up Morgan Harper's news. The other big one, well, there's two big ones. We're not going to really touch on the Dean Pay, Trent Barrett thing because it's still, I think there's still a lot of water to go under the bridge there. The closest news on that, most recent news on that is they've been checking off the two main kind of red flags with why he left Seagulls, which was man management and
facilities.
Yeah, basically complaints, and they're trying to make sure they get that sorted. But the other big one is Bulldogs, as we know, have $3 million to spend next year. They've upped their chase for Nick Kotrick, who's been probably the most high-profile target. They've offered him a 3-year, $1.8 million deal. That's averaging $600,000 a year. But Raiders already have a 3-year, $2.5 million deal on the table, plus a 2-year player option after that. So it could extend to a 5-year deal, with the last 2 years being in Kotrick's favour. So he can pick up his $2.5 million over 3 years, which is pretty damn good. That's going to be over your $800K a year. And then if he's enjoying what's going on, he can re-sign for a further 2 years or renegotiate or go to another club. So I think as a player, or from a player's point of view, that would be much more attractive. Not just the money, but the choice to extend it for another 2 years. Or at least have the opportunity to sign elsewhere and not be going against the club's wishes. So the early money is on Kotrick to stay. However, Canberra is growing impatient and want an answer by the end of this week.
Well, look, with the amount of money Bulldogs have, they're going to get someone eventually. They're going to get that.
It's quite low for them to be offering.
Well, he's only a winger.
Well, for them, he could play anywhere in the back line.
Oh, okay. So
they're playing
probably
centre at Bulldogs.
Yeah, he'd be playing centre at Bulldogs. But
right now, wingers on more money than centres, so yeah.
Yeah, but see, the thing about that is they can throw the checkbook at anyone, but they can't throw the entire checkbook at a winger. And in saying that too, Nick Kotrick, yes, he has potential, but he hasn't done anything yet.
No.
Yeah, he will play for Australia. I don't think he has played for New South Wales yet. He has?
Pretty sure.
I don't think he has.
Selected, then got injured.
Yeah. So look, he will play for those two teams. It just depends when, but
yeah, they've got him in a Blues jersey. I'm pretty sure he has.
I don't know.
One game.
Has he?
One game. Yeah, and got dropped. They lost.
So he'd be a good signing, but he's not the signing that is going to turn them around. I reckon they need to sign someone like Newcastle's with Aiden Guerra. They reckon he was their best signing because he brought that professionalism and brought that.
But again, he was
yeah. No. But someone like that. There's got to be someone out there.
Well, Josh Jackson would be like that, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would. Yeah, but he hasn't won anything. There's got to be someone out there who is probably on a bit of an outer with their squad and would bring a really hard edge to someone's team. I don't know. I can't tell you who, but right now. Maybe someone like go after Kenny Bromwich or something like that.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring up the off-contract list and have a look. I'm just reading here on Morgan Harper. So supposedly Scott Fulton's ahead of Seagulls recruitment, saying we've been looking at Morgan for quite some time. He's an exciting, fast and elusive centre who will complement the Manly squad. We'll have to have a look at some highlights of him. So he's been contract for the Bulldogs for 5 years, 5 seasons. Jesus. He's 21 now, so they picked him up quite early and he's had 2 NRL games. So he starts training tomorrow, and the way that Manly's looking at the moment, wouldn't be surprised. Well, Tavita Funa's been named as reserves this week. Yeah, interesting there. Let's have a look. Off contract.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Yes.
Maybe Soliola. He's off contract.
Yeah, I think he's already said that he's going to play for Canberra or no one.
Or England.
Yeah, I'd be looking like they're not going to, that's not the sort of player that he's going to be signing. They're going to be signing.
Yeah, no, but he's just someone a bit older, bring a bit of experience. He's been playing for years and years and years. So, Aiden Guerra is off contract. Look, I'd be trying to fight Gold Coast for John Asiata. He's not a bad pickup.
He's meant to come back. Oh, he could be coming back this week as well.
Yeah, so someone like that.
There's not.
Alex Johnston, he said he's not welcome back at South Sydney next year.
Yeah, that's a signing I could get around.
Yeah. Mate, throw the money at Mitch Orbison. He's off contract.
Sione Katoa, Will Kennedy, both off contract at Cronulla.
Look, I would start picking off Tigers. So, Chris Lawrence?
Nah.
Chris McQueen?
Who? Nah, too old.
No, but that's the point. They don't need young for the future. These guys will be cheap, but they bring a hard edge and experience. Elijah
but they're
Taylor,
not going to win games.
They're not going to win games for 5 years until they get a lot of signing.
I don't see the point of putting money into someone who's going to play a season then retire. It's just a waste.
Well, Chris Lawrence has still got a few years left in him, and maybe a change of scenery was good for him. And remember, Elijah Taylor's Chris. He's Ivan Cleary's boy, isn't he? He goes with Ivan Cleary was. He used to anyway.
Elijah Taylor, no, he's at Tigers. I'm just looking.
But
the Bulldogs list the other day. The only players we'd really keep around if we're doing a rebuild of that roster and trying to make them competitive and say, what are we, 2020? Say we want them in finals by 2022. So another year next year where it's going to be tough. They're not going to make, but maybe the year after.
That's a lot of signings. That's a lot of signings.
You'd probably be keeping Adam Elliott around.
Yeah.
Will Hopewadi. Dylan Napa.
Look, you won't be able to turn them into, unless they buy an influx like a lot. I'm
not talking about turning them into a title contender. I'm talking about getting to finals, so 8th position.
Yeah. So people like Chris Lawrence can help with that.
I guess if you want them just there for 2 years to plug a hole as a warm body while the youngsters get more experience, yeah.
Yeah, that and the fact that he's going to bring that professional attitude. He's going to bring that hard edge. Chris McQueen can do the same thing.
So I reckon they've got enough of that already, though. You got Aiden Tolman there. You got Josh Jackson there. And you got Luke Thompson out from St. Helens, one of the most professionally run clubs over there. Like, if they're not... Kieran Foran's played under Brad Arthur and Des Hasler. He knows what that's like.
Yeah, no, but, like, you need more of that.
There's already 4.
If you have a really solid defensive hard-edge team, you only need 2 or 3 attacking players.
Well, to be good.
Yeah. Well, look at your team. You've only got 2.
And we're not doing well.
No, but when you do have them both in the field, you're good. When you have Travojevic and Daly Cherry Evans playing together, you're good. None of your players are overly attacking.
No.
but you're pretty fucking
That's also
good.
a way we're not going to win anything. We can get to the finals, but we're not going to win.
Yeah, but you're pretty... Melbourne, what do they have? Cam Smith and Ryan Pappenhausen and Cam Munster.
And Felice Kafusi can attack by himself.
No, he hasn't attacked in years. And they got two good finishes on the wing.
I reckon if they're serious about this money, they're not going to be wasting it on guys who have got a couple of years and then they'll be gone. Because then they're going to...
I reckon that's the best way to do it.
I'd be bringing in
guys on the money.
You
can't throw 1.5 a year at someone like Dave Fafita who's going to break down. I would rather
Lawrence
2 or 3.
Break down? There's a reason why he hasn't played.
I'd rather 2 or 3 older, experienced players to create that atmosphere of NRL standard, which the Bulldogs don't have, than one player who's going to tear his hamstring every 4 weeks.
So
because Bulldogs already made that mistake.
If I'm going to bring an older player in, I'm going to bring ones that are decent and still have something to give on the field rather than just professional.
I reckon Chris Lawrence is going to give something good. He's just stale right now. I would love to sign Chris Lawrence.
He's been stale for like 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah. Just give him put him in another fresh atmosphere.
I'd be picking up young talent, better young talent than what they've got on the cheap. Like Sione Katoa would be the best back in their team after Will Hopewadi if they got him.
That's not a high standard. Just because he's best back in Bulldogs team doesn't mean you're a fucking high standard.
No, but it'd replace the bodies that are there on the cheap, and you're getting better.
I would rather if Chris Lawrence didn't play for the Tigers, he'd still be a star winger.
Chris Lawrence.
He debuted on the wing.
I know, but he's a freaking second rower now. He's got picked at centres.
If Sione Matautia did not play for Newcastle, he'd still be on the wing.
Why?
Because he's a shit second rower, but he's a good winger. Chris Lawrence is not a good second rower, but he was a good winger.
Was, like 10 years ago.
That's my point. He wouldn't have had to move to the second row if he wasn't playing for the Tigers. If he debuted on the wing for Melbourne...
I don't know. When he moved to the second row...
He'd still be the Melbourne winger.
They had a pretty good second row when he moved to second row. You had Anthony LaFranchi. They had Chris Hyington. They had...
Chris Hyington's
He's a better second row than Chris Lawrence.
No, because for the last... how long ago did Chris Hyington play for him? How long ago did...
2 years?
2 years? He played for Newcastle 2 years ago. Before that, he played for Cronulla.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
Look, when he got moved to the second row, it's because they had no better options and he put his hand up. He was a great winger. Sione Matautia was a great winger. Sorry?
Great's a strong word.
Okay. I'll put it in a way that might help you. He was better than Sione Katoa.
Are you talking about Matautia or Lawrence?
Both.
Oh, Matautia, no way. Lawrence, yeah, he probably was at that time. But also,
that's honestly, I believe, if they both debuted for strong clubs, they wouldn't have moved to the second row.
Yeah, Luke Lewis.
But Luke Lewis was an absolute warrior, and you are spitting in his face by comparing him to Matautia and Lawrence. Stop it right there. I just
did the same thing.
Stop it right there.
Keegan Hipgrave, Ryan James.
Yeah, no, but
Kevin Proctor.
Yeah. No. What happened when he went to Gold Coast? They did it for the same reason.
Crap, because they couldn't fit him at Storm, and that was the best deal. Maybe
he was brought in for that Storm experience. To be honest, I wouldn't sign many people from the Storm. Not many people do.
I'm looking at Titans. Keegan Hipgrave, Ryan James, Nathan Peets, Kevin Proctor, Tyrone Roberts. Maybe all but Tyrone Roberts who go straight in their starting 13.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're
and you get them for you get them for mid-level contracts. None of them can be charging big money. You'd be getting Proctor, Peets, James, and Hipgrave would all be upgrades, and they'd be cheap, and they've still got years left, except for probably James with his injury concern. They'd all be decent signings.
They would be. I'm not saying they wouldn't be.
I'd be looking at
Ryan James would be over 30 now, wouldn't he?
Yeah, it's his injuries that'd be the scary thing to sign.
I reckon Kevin Proctor will be bordering on 32.
I'm just having a look at. Yeah, there's probably no one from Manly they'd be looking at.
Yeah, so he's 31.
Yeah, there's no one from Manly.
Yeah. Okay, we'll keep going, eh? So, this weekend.
Anyway, we got sidetracked. That was cool. I like that. That was good. We might do something like that.
Okay, next weekend. This weekend, tomorrow night. You got anything else?
Round 10. This will be, so at the end of this, we'll be halfway through the season. We'll probably much be able to start. Actually, I don't know. I was going to say start cutting teams. We've already started doing that anyway.
Yeah, no, there's a few teams already cut.
Grand final replay. Bit of a downer with the amount of injuries, but should still be a good game, we're hoping.
Okay, so late news out of this game. 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so who started at lock for Roosters?
When?
This game, because it looks like
Nat Butcher.
Okay, Nat Butcher's been dropped for some reason. So they've got Takiaho, Friend, and Maria Hargraves in the front row. Crichton, Cordner, and Isaac Liu is back in number 20 jersey at lock. Looks like Nat Butcher is out because I can't see him in any.
Wow.
Can you look that up and find out why?
Yeah, it just says he's because Isaac Liu is returning from a broken rib. But it says Nat Butcher, Drew Hutchinson culled from the squad. Oh, there you go. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Announced Butcher suffered a minor injury at training late in the week.
Okay, and then they got Flanagan.
That's an odd selection just to drop him.
Yeah. So they got Flanagan, Kieran, Haas, Manu, and Morris in the centres, with Morris and Ikevalu, Tedesco on the wings. So it looks like that's going to be their starting strongest squad. It looks like Tupou's taken over. Ikevalu's taken over Tupou for his injury.
Ryan Hall had it last week, and then Ikevalu scored 5.
Well, no, Ryan Hall came in for Morris last week.
Hall was named earlier in the week.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Emergency.
So Ikevalu's leapfrog Ryan Hall. Well, Warriors can go after Ryan Hall now. Morris also the winger Morris has to find pass the fitness test before he can play tomorrow. But he's at the point in his career where he'll tell Trent Robinson if he's right. He's not going to have to do too much. He'll just go yes or no.
And they've kept
then you got
on the reserves, so.
Yeah, and then you got Lachlan Lamb, Tupanil, Orbison, and Collins with Fasamili and Ryan Hall in the reserves. For Canberra, you've got Dunamis Louis, Havili, Papali in the front row with Whitehead, Hudson Young, and Tarpany. Look, with all the forwards they're missing, they're still got a pretty strong forward pack. That's not bad.
That's not but it's lost a lot of...
I understand that, but look, if you walked on with that forward pack, that's a better forward pack than a lot of teams right now. You've still got Papali, you've still got Whitehead. Tarpany's like a starter in every squad.
Yeah.
And then you've got George Williams, Jack Wyden, Michael Oldfield, Croker, with Kotrick and Rapana. Rapana's taking over Simonson. With Nickel Clock staying at fullback. And you got the question we asked, Tom Starling. He's going to be the backup hooker for Havili. So I reckon he's going to go on. Havili will come off, and then Havili will go to lock. And now let's rotate that way. He's a Newcastle junior. He's not actually that bad. Kai O'Donnell, Ryan Sutton, and Villamay. And then you got Medlin and Sam Williams on the. I'm interested why he has to put Sam Williams there. Could he be coming on quickly for Tom Starling? So
my mum's calling my phone.
Well, get off then.
Hey, Mum, we're just podcasting.
Okay, well, call me
Hi, Sue.
back, or I'll send you a message and you answer that then.
All right. Bye. That was my moment, buddy. I'm just having a look at who are those new names you haven't seen? Semi Valemi.
Yeah.
All right, you keep going. I'll have a look at them.
Okay, so it'd be interesting what they do with Sam Williams because they haven't really named him. So could he be coming on as a utility spot as a late change? I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Oh, no way!
What?
Semi Valemi's a winger. Born in 99, so he's 21.
Jesus.
98 kilos, 182 centimetres. Junior club, Caloundra Sharks. That's
awesome.
A boy like us. I don't even know.
Yes.
He's been elevated to the Raiders top 30 after an outstanding season with the club's jersey flag. Last year, represented Fiji in the World Cup Nines in 2019. Had no idea.
There you go.
Cool. So they've got a winger and a halfback in their reserves. So,
no, they have a winger and a hooker.
Sam Williams. Oh no, in the reserves, Sam Williams.
No, so Semi Valemi is at 17.
He's on the interchange, yeah, but I mean in the reserves.
So Sam Williams is number 20.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Darby Medlin. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Darby. He's a hooker, is he? No.
I couldn't tell you. Okay, so I'm going to click the Roosters on this one.
Oh, yeah.
I doubt that. What?
Sorry. Darby Medlin's got the same birthday as me.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Must be a legend.
So I'm going Roosters in this one. I doubt that. I just highly doubt that Canberra are going to be able to counter over these injuries, plus the 5-day turnaround, plus the issues with the bus. It's just, it's a big shit fight right now down wherever they're staying, so I doubt they're going to be able to get over this one.
Yeah, and Curtis Scott also had been ruled out during an infected cut on his arm. One thing we haven't mentioned as well is all the New South Wales teams are back on the level 1 or like the highest COVID restrictions again because of Liverpool and Campbelltown being hotspots of COVID at the moment with the peaks, and also a lot of players live in those areas. So all the New South Wales teams players are back on training, home, nothing else restrictions. No visitors, no family visits, all that sort of stuff's back in place. The follow-up from that would be moving New South Wales clubs to Queensland. They don't want that to happen. So these full restrictions are in place. Hopefully this is a short-term spike. Everyone stay at home if you're in New South Wales. Do the right thing. Don't put others at risk. And also then that allows us to keep our footy. I think like a group of young fellas got caught at the Queensland border trying to come across. They got asked if they'd been in Melbourne. They said no, and then they checked their phone records, and they had been. $24,000 fine.
Good.
Yeah. So this one, kind of looking forward to. I still might go to this. There's tickets still available. So if you're in the Sunny Coast area, they've now opened it up for everybody. So you got the Melbourne Storm versus the Gold Coast Titans up at Sunshine Coast Stadium over at Warana. Really nice stadium. Well, really nice field, we'll say. It's got one pretty big grandstand. So Melbourne Storm. Now, this is to me, it's a really interesting list of names here that they've put forward. So we've got Ryan Pappenhausen at fullback. Paul Momorowski shifts to the wing with Josh Addo-Carr. So no Vunivalu yet. Justin Olam and Branko Lee are the starting centres, with Cam Munster being named to make his return at 5'8", and Jerome Hughes at halfback. Brandon Smith, their usual interchange forward, has been named as starting prop with Christian Welch. So interesting pairing there with Cameron Smith at hooker. The back row has remained the same: Kafusi, Bromwich and Finucane at lock. Now their interchange, we have Chris Lewis, who Jared tells me is a second row. Tino Fasumalui, I almost got it then. Also a second rower. Marion Sevi, who is a centre, and Nelson Asafa Solomona is a prop on the bench. So you've got in that entire squad, you've got 2 legitimate props, yeah, in Christian Welch and Asafa Solomona.
Yeah.
You would say, because they're light. And then when you look at their reserves, you got Nico Hines, who's a outside back, Riley Jacks, who's a half, Darren Schoenig, who second row. Front row, and Albert Vitae. So they seem like they've got more forwards in their reserves that could help out than on the interchange, unless they're thinking of Finucane playing prop for a bit, Brandon Smith playing lock while they rotate the second rowers. But in saying that, Bromwich and Kafusi don't usually have that long of spells on the sidelines. So unless they're thinking of playing Tino up front.
Which is not going to be a big deal.
No, it's not. But for a young guy still finding his way in the NRL in one position, the last thing you really want to be doing is changing his position up. Because he'll be learning all the second row systems there. If anyone's going to move up there, it'd be obviously Solomona and maybe Chris Lewis.
Nah, it'll be Finucane.
Or Finucane, yeah. Interesting. Anyway, Titans, Corey Thompson at fullback. Anthony Don, Tremaine Spry keeps his position on the wing. Brian Kelly and Philip Sammy is going to get a run in the centres. Ash Taylor will be playing and Jamal Fogarty in the halves. Footer Waker and Jermaine Jolliffe as starting props with Aaron Clark at hooker. Beau Fermor moves back from centre to second row with Keegan Hipgrave and then Joe Arrow at lock. Tanner Boyd, Tyron Peachy, Sam Lasone, Jared Wallace, the same bench they had last week. Reserve Sam Stone, Jai Whitbread, Nathan Peets, and Greg Lely Siao. First time we've seen Nathan Peets' name for a while. Into at least the reserves. He hasn't even been there for a few weeks now. Let's have a look there. Yeah, Brandon Smith has right, pushing to the bench. Yeah, nothing else there. Titans are chasing back-to-back wins for the first time since April 2019. Remembering they did upset the Storm last year on the Gold Coast. Don't see it happening this time. I've got Storm all the way in this one.
Yeah, I got Storm as well. I don't think Gold Coast can match you with them.
This is my bet of the week, this game. So I'm going a multi in this one for... I've got Titans to cover their line. So the line is at... Where is it? There we go. The line's at $19.5 points. So I've got Melbourne winning, but Gold Coast to remain within 19.5 points. And with that, Anthony Don to score a try at any time. So
yeah, righto.
Gold Coast to cover 19.5. Anthony Don to score at any time. And the third part of that try is Melbourne to lead at half and full time. So that pays out at $7. So it's pretty much going to be a Melbourne-dominated match, but they'll win by less than 19.5 points, and Don will get his token try.
Mm-hmm.
That's mine for this week. Oh wait, you've been putting some chat up there. Yeah, cool. Awesome. So that's your first Friday night game. Do you want to take us away the second one there, Jared?
Yeah. So the second is Broncos versus Tigers. Okay. So Packer has been recalled back to West Tigers with Harry Grant and Alawai with him.
Alawai is in damn good form, eh?
He's exactly, as far as I'm concerned, like Alex Twal. He'd be talked about as one of the best players in the competition if he played for one of the better teams, I reckon. Tigers have got a few of them. Luciano Leilua's back from his concussion with Luke Garner and Eisenhuth at lock. And then you got Marshall. This is the big one. So about a month ago, Maguire told Marshall he's missing too many tackles, so he dropped him. And this week, Maguire told Brooks that he's missed too many tackles, so he dropped him for the guy who previously missed heaps of tackles.
No, you got to be consistent.
So, look, we keep saying it, Maguire's got a set on him, and he doesn't give a shit who you are. If you don't play to his standard, you're out. So, good, all the more power to him. Josh Reynolds has been suspended, so they brought in Billy Walters at 6, which isn't a bad thing at all. He's been playing really well this year when he's got a run.
So, it's interesting, not only is Reynolds suspended, but he also then drops the other half of the halves and just brings in two completely different ones. When
he doesn't give a shit, mate. He doesn't give a shit.
I was saying Marshall and Brooks looked quite good together earlier in the year, so Walters must be lighting it up at training as well as. Sorry, go on.
Then you got Matt Mbai and Chris Lawrence in the centres. And you got Tommy Talau and Faluma with Adam Dewey at fullback. Then you got Sam McIntyre, Thomas McKaylee, Luke Brooks at 16, so he's still there, and Chris McQueen with Clark, Hoffman, Blore, and Cheekham. So Cheekham's still at 21. Maguire must not like Cheekham. And then you got the Broncos. You got Payne Haas, Isaac Luke, and Pangai Jr.
Oh, Sean Blore's there in the reserves.
Yeah.
First time we've seen his name since it's...
And then you got Corey Oates at second row. Is that an injury problem, or is he actually playing well at second row?
His try last week was actually pretty impressive.
And then Ben Teo finally gets a start with Pat Carrigan. Who is the captain, by the way? Has that been named? I'm curious about that.
Look.
And then you got Brody Croft with Anthony Milford, with Darius Boyd, Herbie Farnsworth, Xavier Coates, and Asako with Tessie New as the back 5.
It says Xavier Coates has a thigh complaint but is expected to play.
Yeah, and then you got Corey Pax, Flegler, Jamil Hopewade, and Offa Hengawi ran that 17 with Thomas Dearden dropped. For fuck's sake. Give him a crack. Someone give him a few games. Martin Kennedy, Richie Kenner, and Tyson Gamble. So obviously they've got Richie Kenner hoping in for Xavier Coates.
No, they've actually said he's in for Herbie Farnsworth, so who has a knee complaint. But Xavier Coates better bloody play because I just picked him up in fantasy this week at a good price. So
okay, so I have got, and this is my biggest multi I've done. It's the entire thing. It's going at $63.50.
Oh, geez. All right. Here we go.
And it legitimately has a chance of going over. Let's get this. Right. So, I got Brisbane Broncos to win. I reckon they might go on a bit of a roll. And Tigers might take them a bit relaxed because they had a win last week. And they scored a few pretty good tries. $63. Remember this. Then you got David Norfoluma, anytime try scorer. Entirely possible.
Yeah.
And then you got Xavier Coates, anytime possible, anytime try scorer.
Yeah.
And then here's the big one. And it's legitimately a chance because he's going to get the ball
Chris Lawrence to score a try.
Oh, I didn't go that far. Tavita Pangai Jr. to score a try.
Oh, to make it a double 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, look, he in the front row, he has a legitimate chance because he's in the middle. He's got a pretty good footwork and he can run over a few people. So right there, you got
$63.
Yeah. So you got Broncos to win, David Norfoluma to score, Xavier Coates to score, and Tavita Pangai to score. And that's $63.50.
Wow.
It's not bad, is it?
Is that for a buck?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's not bad, is it?
No, I'd take that.
Yeah. You put that $10 on that, you got $630. David Norfoluma, one of the best try scorers, best finishers. Xavier Coates, the fastest man in the NRL, and then you got Pangai running up the middle with smaller guys in front of him because he would be one of the biggest guys on that field.
Yeah.
So look, it's not bad.
Go for it. He's just got to ask Harry Grant.
Look, if Harry Grant was the only one in front of him, he probably could.
No, what the matchup? This is like you'll see what I prefer watching in league. The most interesting matchup to me in this game is Carrigan versus Eisenhuth. I think they're both completely
real young.
Yeah, really underrated. Really they're both to me old school locks. They just get in there, tackle all day. Eisenhuth's got a better running game, I'd say, than Carrigan does at the moment. But I love how Carrigan plays. And I don't say that about many Broncos, but I really enjoy watching Carrigan play. To me, that's more exciting than watching wingers take on each other.
So getting on the Broncos this week, I reckon they can do the Tigers.
Yeah, I reckon Tigers will be hurting after last week against the Rabbits. I don't know how much I'm going to read into the Broncos win yet because of who it was against, and
I just think it might have given them that confidence they need. And they've got a better team than on paper. Like, if that team was more confident, Tigers.
Oh, if they were more confident, but it's easy to say if they were more confident because confidence is a huge thing.
Yeah, no, but that's what I think a win was going to. I reckon they might go on a bit of a run now. Then Seabold will be left alone.
Yeah, all right. I say winning.
Are you going Tigers?
Yeah, I'm going to go Tigers still. I'm just worried that they're playing it. Where are they playing? Leichardt. Tigers aren't real good there. I think they've lost 6 of their last 8 at their home ground. Anyway, I'll pretend they're not playing there. I'll just pretend they're playing at Suncorp. So Tigers have a better chance. Jared is going west. Going Broncos, sorry. Yeah. I'm going west. Oh, geez. The second time these two teams have met. All right, I'll take this one away. Probably a good time for this game to be on 3 o'clock on a Saturday. We got Dragons versus the Bulldogs. So last time they were both rock bottom. Dragons have hit a bit of form since then. It seems like a long time ago they were talking about McGregor having his 4 weeks to turn his team around. It's now 5 weeks. So
I still don't agree that he should keep his spot or whatever. But anyway, he must
have
listened to this podcast.
Dragons are getting some consistency almost in their selections. This time there is a change with regards to suspension. So they got Matt Duffy at fullback. Jason Saab comes back in for the suspended Jordan Pereira. Ravalawa is on the other wing. Ewan Aitken and Zach Lomax, who continues to impress, is in the centres. Corey Norman, Adam Clune are in the halves. Blake Laurie, Paul Vaughan are your starting props with Ben Hunt at hooker. Tyson Frizzell, Tariq Sims comes back in the second row. Cam McInnes at lock. Trent Merrin, Josh Kerr after his try last week. Tyrell Fui-Mayono and Jackson Ford are the interchange, so 4 forwards. Although Fui-Mayono can play outside back if needed. Reserves, Jacob Host, Tristan Saylor, Tim Laffey, with whispers around that he's going to be heading back to the Bulldogs sooner than later. And Corbin Sims in the reserves. Forgot about that Laffey.
Yeah, so they must have listened to this podcast with Ben Hunt at hooker and Cam McInnes at lock. I feel like
that was last week.
Oh, damn it. I feel like some genius said that earlier in the year.
Thanks, Ben. I'm glad you remembered I said that. Is the fullback for the Bulldogs with Dylan Watene-Zelezniak and Christian Crichton on the wings.
I would love that.
Montoya in the centres.
I would love that if Nick Meaney wasn't a worse fullback than Watene-Zelezniak.
Yeah. Kieran Foran at 5'8". Lachlan Lewis comes back in at halfback. So Brendan Wakeham's been dropped completely. Aiden Tolman and Dylan Napa at starting props. Jeremy Marshall-King comes back to starting hooker after Sione Katoa had that role last week. Josh Jackson, Fatala Mariner and Luke Thompson are your second row and lock. I'm guessing that'll be their second row and lock till the end of the season with Elliott out. Suaso Sue, Renouf Tumunga, Ofaki Ogden and Sione Katoa on the interchange. Dean Britt, Jake Avarillo, Chris Smith, Brandon Wakeham are in the reserves. So Avarillo and Wakeham after getting 3 weeks, I think, with Gorgialis coming in as interim coach till probably like the end of the year.
Do you know what I love about that?
Gotten rid of Wakeham and Avarillo pretty much straight away. Yeah,
and then he switched around the winger and fullback. Which, when you think about it, kind of goes, one, can you not suck on your little black thing on your finger? Oh, is that your pen?
Yeah.
Looked like it was coming off your finger, broken finger. Kind of looks like that he wasn't agreeing too much with what Dean Pay was doing. You know what I mean? Like to make
Dean Pay changed this team so much.
Yeah, but Dean Pay quit yesterday.
Yeah.
And then he made a team like 2 hours later after he quit and changed everything from last week. Like, is that what Dean Pay was planning to do? Or does Steve Georgiades come in and go, fuck the playbook, here's your team?
You'd have no idea because Lachlan Lewis and Wakeham have switched twice this year. Christian Crichton.
I'm more leaning towards the fullback and winger spot because that hasn't happened all year.
But everyone in that back five has played a different position.
Yeah, I know. I kind of like the idea of either this is Dean Pay's last team or Steve Georgiades came in and go, this is my team now.
I reckon if we laid out all 10 back lines of the Bulldogs this year, I don't think we'd find one the same.
Yeah, probably.
Because Hopewadi was the fullback and then he got injured and they've tried... Was Lesniak there? They've tried Meany there. Yeah, I don't know. I've got Dragons in this one, looking to continue their recent good form. It says the Bulldogs have held the Dragons trialists in 3 of their past 7 meetings.
Jesus.
And the last time, remember when these guys played, when they're on the bottom, Bulldogs towed them up like 22-6 or something. I can't see that happening this time round.
Yeah.
Especially what the Bulldogs showed against the Broncos last week. After the Broncos have been dishing out, they're making them look like they were world beaters. Yeah, I got Dragons on this one.
Yeah, I reckon Dragons will win it, but I just hope Bulldogs come out with a bit of... Actually, you know what? I'm going to go Bulldogs. I reckon their coach got fired. They're going to come out pissed off and they're going to beat the Dragons. I'm going Bulldogs.
All right.
Yeah.
Here you go, son.
And the good thing is we've got a few against each other this week. Okay,
Yes.
Next game.
Do you go through this one?
Yeah, Newcastle versus South Sydney. For South Sydney, you got Burgess, Cook, and Totola up front with Ethan Lowe and Jaden Sewer in the second row. Cam Murray at lock. Then you got Reynolds, Walker, Gagai, Roberts, Jaxson Paulo, Corey Allen, and Alex Johnson. That covers for Latrell Mitchell being out and Campbell Graham being out. So Jaxson Paulo, I reckon he's an absolute superstar, real quick, 192 centimetres, 101 kilos. So
I've been waiting to see this kid. So
yeah, he's got pretty big raps on him. Then you got Mark Nichols, who survived his judiciary.
Survived.
Selly, Sirenet, and Margo. I like that bench. That's a good bench. You got Nichols, bit of a workhorse. Sally, Sirenet, Bailey Sirenet's a really good player. And Patrick Margo's got this big human being. You got Jack Johns, Kurt Dillon, Eset. That's not.
I thought Patrick Margo had torn his pec, earlier in the year.
Yeah, he did at the start of the year, and he's come back. And then you got Corey Denise, ex-Newcastle player at 21. For Newcastle, you got Jacob Safidi up front. So Daniel's injured, with McCulloch and Clemmer in the front row, Guerra, Fitzgibbon, SASA at lock. Then you got Pierce, Mann, Brabham Bess, Tautar Moga finally he played really well last week, but Parramatta just couldn't finish. Tuwala and Hunt with Ponga at fullback. And then here's where everything changes for them. You got Watson at 14, he's back. Barnett at 15, he's back. Solo gets another start with Matautia back from a head injury. Tex Hoy gets dropped with Josh King, Phoenix Crossman, and Shibasaki in the bench.
Yeah, we were talking about Tex Hoy last week about where's he going to end up fitting in, and pretty much as soon as Watson's back, there goes his utility role.
Yep. And I think we touched on that at the start. He was only in because Watson was injured, I think. Yeah, so that's what I said. He's got the ability to play a lot of positions. He's just I don't know if he's young and not ready, but Newcastle have 3 utilities in their top 30. They've got Kurt Mann, Connor Watson, and Tex Lee. Someone's got to move on. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. They're moving on SASA because Frizzell's coming in. Someone's going to move on. And I think Newcastle are going to lose 1 or 2 more players before the end of the season. To be honest. Obviously, I'm going Newcastle in this game. It'd be interesting what they come out with attack because they're coming up against a pretty lethal backline when you look at it.
Hey, because Newcastle played pretty well against Para last week.
In defence, not attack.
Well, see, to me, like, the first 10, 20 minutes, the attack looked good up to the point of scoring points. And
it's just that last pass, wasn't it?
It was like you had Parramatta on the back foot and you were outflanking them, which is, I'm not saying, well, actually, if you're going to take Parramatta, that's where we've seen. And
that's why I said they gave everyone a blueprint how to beat Parra. You attack their second row out.
Is it weird for me thinking like I'm worried for South because they've got Gagai at South? He's finally found some scoring touch.
Yeah, I know. That's my point. Like I'm a bit worried about it. And then look, when South's have got a fucking good team when you look at it. Like Totola's a really good player.
They started playing that well.
Ethan Lowe's not brilliant, but he's good. Like Jaden Silva can create havoc, and then you got Cam Murray at lock, plus Damien Cook.
See, I like your bench better this week than the Rabbits.
My bench.
It's probably because Barnett wouldn't usually be on your bench.
So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some late swaps there.
No,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I still reckon they'll bring Barnett off the bench because he's come back from, I think, the first half serious injury of his career. So he might not have. I don't know as well, but
look, South Sydney, and then you look at their backline. Like this is one of, if not the best backline. So this is missing Campbell, Graham, and Latrell Mitchell.
Yeah.
So you got Adam Reynolds, one of the most experienced halves, Cody Walker, one of the most damaging players, and you got Gagai and James Roberts. Like on their day, they can tear apart any team. And you got Corey Allen, Jaxson Paulo, and Alex Johnson. So
Adam Reynolds looked better last week because he was actually running the ball.
Yeah, and if South Sydney rock up and they are in the mind to attack, they could put 50 on not only Newcastle but fucking Roosters if they wanted to. Like with that back line, it is.
Oh yeah,
like it's good. And then, like I said, throw Mitchell and Campbell and Graham in there. It's close to. Well, I reckon it comes close to rivaling Roosters backline and Parramatta's backline.
For names on a sheet, it's just the chemistry they got to build up then.
Yeah, well, that's
so you're going Knights?
Yeah, well, obviously. Are you going Rabbits?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. I'm going on the obviously thing.
But I can easily see Newcastle winning this, but
this is a good segue to who you're obviously going to pick into the next game.
Parramatta.
Damn, I thought it was a bit of a fight.
Oh, it sucks because I want to win. Like, because it's the first time I've had to tip in like 8 years at work. I freaking want to win. And the last time I went against, the only time I went against Manly this year, they freaking won, and that was against Canberra in Canberra. Sorry, not in Canberra, at Campbelltown, but. Holy crap, man. Like, you were just talking about one of the best backlines in the league, and I'm looking at my backline this week going, fuck. Anyway. So, Sea Eagles versus Para, primetime Saturday night at Brooky. Manly's got Brendan Elliott at fullback with George Tafua and Ruben Garrick on the wings. Brad Parker, Moses Sully in the centres. Cade Cuss and Daly Cherry Evans in the halves. And we talked about Daly probably trying too hard last week, making some uncharacteristic errors. He looked a bit flustered, but we talked about he was trying to do too much.
Yeah.
Hopefully this week takes a little step back. Taniela Paseka gets a starting prop role with Martin Tapau, who I'm hoping to see a bit out of because he's been pretty lax this year.
He's going to have to. He's up against Paulo and Campbell Gillard. Tapau's going to have to step up.
What have you been eating? Jeez. Danny Levi at hooker, Joel Thompson, Curtis Sironen, and Jake Trbojevic. Jake, run the ball. Your pass works when they don't expect it. Run the freaking ball.
So we need to swap. We need to swap Kurt Mann and Jake Trbojevic over because that seems to be the differing arguments between the two of them.
Just chatting in a Cliffy Lions, mate. Run it, sleight of hand. Lachlan Croker on the interchange with Jack Gashevsky, Sean Kepi, and Corey Waddell getting a run. Olakatu, Tavita Funa, Abbas Miski, Tafoa Sipley. So 2 forwards, 2 outside backs on their reserves. Talked about it already. Manly's depth is not strong point. Parramatta unchanged from last week. So, Gutherson at fullback with Seaver, Ferguson on the wings. Jennings and Blake in the centres with Brown and Jai Field in the halves. Britton Campbell-Gillard, Junior Paulo, the form front row pair of the comp with Reid Marnie and hooker. Sean Lane, Ryan Madison, Nathan Brown. One of the best overall back rows going around with regards to go forward, defense, creativity, line running. They've pretty much got it covered. Dave Gower, Uto Kamanu, hoping to get more than a minute on the field this week. Murata Niokore and Brad Takarangi. So pretty settled team.
You know what? With the Parramatta team, everyone debates.
Ferguson still hasn't scored a try and he's only had one line break all season, means he's going to score a hat trick.
So every year, there's always debate who's the best buy of the year. I reckon Jai Field's going to be up there because everyone thought once Mitch Moses, when he got injured, that Parramatta's attack might be affected. He's been playing so well. He'll get number 14 jersey when Mitch Moses comes back for the rest of the year. He's a mid-season signing from Dragons. He's been playing really well for him this year. I'm not saying he's the best signing of the year, but I reckon he's going to be talked about because
he's had 2 games, yeah.
Yeah, but he's fitted in that team really well. And to be honest, you could argue that he's a better defender than Moses right now.
Yeah, well, that's not having a high bar there. Come on.
But look, I reckon
Moses isn't in the team for his defense.
Yeah, but I reckon that let's put it this way. I reckon if Moses was in that team last week, Newcastle would have won.
No, because Parra probably would have scored more points.
Nah, they wouldn't have.
So I don't know. Like you take like Roosters showed it. You take Cooper Cronk out and put someone pretty decent in, and Kyle Flanagan just building every week. If everything around you, the system, the other players are all at such a high standard, there's less you have to do to win, which is what Jai Field's walked into. If you put the difference to me is you put Harry Grant's gone into West Tigers and the difference he's made.
No, look. I might have taken a step too far in the fact that he's the best.
I'm not disagreeing he hasn't played well. He has, but I
think he was
going into this team right now would be doing something.
Okay, I think he was a smart signing.
Smart, there you go. I'm with you on that one.
Right. One of the smartest signings because they brought him in, I think, 2 weeks before Moses got injured. Not knowing obviously that Moses was going to get injured, but in saying that too, like. He came in 2 weeks later. Moses gets injured. He's starting 7.
See, and Rankin's there for when Sevo goes down.
Shut up, Adam.
I'm just saying. I'm disagreeing with you. I'm just same thing.
Jordan Rankin. Okay, second last game of the round. Warriors versus Cronulla.
So just to confirm, we're both going Eels, but we both want Manly to win. I love it.
Oh, no, I don't want Manly to win at all. All right. Warriors versus Cronulla, Adam Blair and Tamua Brown with Wagan Egan in the front row. Tohu Harris. What?
No.
Tohu Harris and Elise Katoa with Carl Lawton at lock. Carl Lawton's at lock.
Yeah.
Carl Lawton's... okay.
Yeah, Jazz is still coming off the bench.
Okay, then you got Blake Green, Nikorima with Hiku and Herbert in the centres. Mamalo and Fosatua on the wings. Thank God they got that out of their heads. And then you got Tuivasa Sheck at fullback with Ignatius Parthy, Heverington, Isaiah Papali, and Jazz Tobaga, with Harris DeVita, Jack Murchie, Lachlan Burr, and Adam Pompey as your interchange. With Cronulla, you've got Aaron Woods.
Oh, look,
Blake.
Sorry, Lachlan Burr. It's good to see him back on.
Yeah, but I doubt he'll get a run.
No, but it's a big step in the right direction.
Yeah, so Aaron Woods, Blake Brayley, with Fafita out, that is bringing the Fafita clone in Hamlin Ueli. Then you got Wade Graham, Nakora, and Rudolph. Rudolph gets a start at lock. I reckon lock's his best position.
It's going to be interesting to see how long he lasts there, eh?
I reckon he's a decent 60-minute player. I reckon he'd last that long, which is pretty good for a lock. Like, you know, yeah. 10-minute break either side of half time. Go for it. You got Chad Townsend, Johnson with Ramian and Goodwin in the centres. Mulatalo gets a run back with Katoa and Dugan at fullback. Connor Tracy, Scott Sorensen, Talakai, and Royce Hunt. So the two guys they just re-signed get to the last two interchanges spots, with Jack Williams being dropped. Billy Magoulis, Will Kennedy, and Nene McDonald. So Nene McDonald got dropped for Mulatalo.
See, I didn't get to watch this game, like the whole game through. So Charlie Stain scores 4 tries against the Sharks last week. Do you know who his opposing centre was? What side he was playing on?
For Penrith? No, I think it was on the right-hand side.
Yeah, so left-hand side for Sharks is...
Yeah. So...
just trying to see...
it would have been Goodwin, because Ramian's a right-hand sider. So
I was just saying, like, I'm looking at that. I'm still... I know when Moylan got injured, we said, like, they were starting to look real good with Moylan, Brayley, and Johnson.
Yeah.
And Moylan goes out. I wasn't a fan of putting Dugan back at fullback because I felt he'd been playing really well in the centres. And to me, he's a better defensive presence to have there and have Will Kennedy at fullback. I'd still be having the Dugan-Ramian combination in centres with Will Kennedy at fullback. And Goodwin on the wing and probably Mulatalo out. Like, to me, that gives them a more balanced defensive. I know Dugan runs the ball back hard from fullback, but I still reckon Will Kennedy's a better creator, more along the lines of Moylan.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just prefer Dugan one-on-one against an opposition because he's got the strength to manhandle someone, like, with his palm if he needs to. He's still decent enough on his feet, as opposed to him sweeping and passing. I'd rather just give him the ball early and take on someone one-on-one. But that's just me. So, I don't know. Toby Rudolph at lock. I kind of like it.
I prefer it, yeah.
He's only played, I think, 1, maybe 2 games of starting props so far. So it's going to be interesting to see how long he does last. But in saying that, they're not taking on a forward pack that's been rolling people. So,
yeah.
Out of the whole weekend, for me, honestly, this was the hardest one to pick.
No, I just think if they were all both coming into the game with no issues, I would say it'd be a lot harder. But with all the crap happening with the telling Adam Blair and Blake Green what's going on, and then the 4 players going home after this game,
I reckon it'd be like rocking hard to go out, like for Fusatua, Mamalo going, we're only here for another 2 games. Let's just rock as hard as we can.
No, yeah, but I just think that with all this shit going on, I don't think Warriors' heads are going to be in there. I think this is the week to play the Tigers. 2 play the Warriors this week, so yeah.
And they'll be down after last week, how well they started. Like, literally,
Yeah.
it was like 8 minutes of that game was perfect, and then the next 70, But Sharks were freaking horrible last week, like 26-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, 26-0 at one point, 26-12 at halftime. They were shocking.
Yeah, I don't see the Warriors being able to come back after this. I think there's going to be 1 or 2 games for the rest of the year where they might, pull something out. But it's just going to be too hard for them to play that level and have no restrictions and no issues coming at them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. At least the Katoa's back in. You'd imagine Jazz Tavega gets a longer run.
Yeah.
Isaiah Papali'i. I don't know, hey. Lachlan Burr. Oh, he won't come in. So you going Sharks?
Yeah, by a lot, I reckon.
Geez, that'll be a big turnaround for them from last week. Well, in saying that, they did score 24 points. They just let in 50-something.
Yeah.
I guess.
And then the last game.
I think I just turned myself against myself. The fact that they still scored 24 points against Penrith. And Penrith are a pretty damn good defensive team. So, a Warriors going to be able to score more than 24 points? Probably not.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm going to get a shot. I just talked myself around. All right, last game of that's the primetime game on Sunday. So it's an odd choice by channel. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry. No, it's not. It's the early game on Sunday because there is no really late game this Sunday. Sorry, there's no 6:30 game. So primetime game. Panthers against Cowboys. I think Cowboys are about to get showed up on. Oh, geez. They were so bad last week. Like, man, it was hard to watch. Anyway, Penrith, Dylan Edwards at fullback with Josh Mansour and Brent Naden on the flanks. Dean Farray, Stephen Crichton off his massive effort last week are in the centres. Remember, Charlie Staines has been dropped for his COVID breach. Jerome Luai and Nathan Cleary in the halves. James Tamo, James Fisher-Harris starting props with Apisai Coruscant at hooker. Viliami Kikau, Liam Martin, Isaiah Yeo, back row and lock. Tyrone May, Spencer Lenu, Moses Leota and Billy Burns are their interchange with Mitch Kenny, Matt Burden, Lindsay Smith and Malachi Lesniak in the reserves. Who was the other forward that started the season on the bench for? Oh, Tedovano. Is he injured?
Yeah.
Must be. Okay, cool. Cowboys. Hamaso Tube Fido keeps his spot at fullback. Kyle Felt, Justin O'Neill on the wing. So O'Neill's back in. Connolly, Lemelu and SN Masters are the centres. Now, Paul Green switched things up here. He's thrown Mitch Dunn in at 5'8" and dropped Drinkwater cold. So
no, Josh Drinkwater's injured.
Injured? I thought it said earlier today he just got dropped.
No, I think he's injured.
Oh, no, knee. Okay. Yep, knee.
Yeah.
My bad. Because I'm like, that's an odd move because Mitch Dunn is a second rower generally. So that's a interesting selection. Josh Maguire, Francis Molo is props with Reece Robson at hooker. Shane Wright and Cohen Hess and Jason Tamaloa, second row and lock. Dijon Arce set to make his debut off the bench. Tom Gilbert, Gavin Cooper, and Ben Hampton. See, to me, like, you throw Hampton in at 5'8" makes a little bit more sense because he's played there before. Yeah. Murray Tulagi, Ruben Cotter, and these are two big ones for Cowboys and Cowboys fans. Jordan McLean and Josh Asiata both named on the reserves. And obviously with the Sunday game, they're going to give as much chance to make it as they can. Both returning from injuries. Let's have a look. So Dijon Arce, what's his regular position?
He's a winger, I'm pretty sure.
That is... Yeah, correct. They've got him listed as a center, the Cowboys, but man, it's not
I think they compared him to Fido. Fido's twin.
Okay, so that's an odd. So I always feel for young players like making their debut off the bench if they're a back because it's such an unnatural thing to do. It says here he's a versatile back with a huge left boot. Arcee has the ability to play fullback, centre, and 5'8". So maybe this Mitch Dunn thing's just to take the heat out of the early part of the game, and he could even just jump straight in there.
Yeah.
He impressed the Cowboys coaches so much during a preseason training block, he was offered a 3-year contract to join the NRL squad just prior to the start of the 2020 season.
Jesus.
A product of Christchurch, he relocated to Australia where he attended renowned rugby union nursery, Brisbane Grammar, before moving to North Queensland in 2019. Starred for Townsville Blackhawks, Colts, and earned an Intrust Super Cup. So he seems like he's on a pretty fast-track path to the NRL. Born 2000, so he's 20 years old, or will be in September, so still only 19. Needs to fill out a little bit, I'd say. Oh, actually, he looks skinny in his picture. They've got him listed at 97 kilos, so...
How tall does it say?
180... That can't be right. 187, is that what it said?
Jesus, okay.
186.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll just have to see.
Yeah, interesting selection. Cowboys got absolutely towed last week. Yeah, Penrith roll on this one.
Yeah, they'll 20 plus. Kick out, come back to his old club.
That's 8, yep. So, Roosters, Storm, Eels, Sharks, Penrith we're agreeing on. I'm going West, you're going Broncos. I'm going Dragons, you're going Bulldogs. I'm going South, you're going Knights. They're our selections of the round. We're giving you our value bets. If you haven't seen Sunny Coast Stadium, if you've got, if you're going to be watching the games on Channel 9, oh, wait on, that's the first game, so that won't be on Channel 9, it'll be on Fox only, won't it? Yeah. So if you're on Fox Sports, check it out. Let's have a look here. We're trying to wrap up confirmation of another interview in our Get to Know series. We'll have more information for you that on our Sunday night episode, so tune in for that. We'll definitely drop Sunday night because there's no late night game on Sunday, so we should be able to get it done. Anything else from you, Jared?
Nah, I'm all good.
So all of our friends, listeners, supporters south of the Queensland border, stay safe. Do your best to stop the spread of this stuff and wear a mask if you're sick or in public. All that sort of stuff. Listen to the pros. Go Manly.
Good luck. See yous.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to 6 Again. Connect with the show on Twitter, Instagram, and the 6 Again website. All links via the show's bio. Be sure to check out Adam's Craft Beer Choice of the Week.